Hey everyone, this is Tony Teaches Tech. I'm Tony, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change your WordPress username. Not only one way, but two different ways that you can do this. They're essentially both accessing the database of your WordPress install to ultimately change the username, because in the user interface this is not possible, and we can start off the tutorial by showing you what I mean by that. So here's my two websites, tonyflorida.com and subscribe.club. Let's look in the dashboard for tonyflorida.com. We'll go into the user section and you'll see that we have one user, admin. Let's see what that user looks like. And for all WordPress installs at this point, the username field is uneditable. It says usernames cannot be changed. Okay, so we're working with an admin user here on tonyflorida.com, and then for subscribe.club, we'll do the same thing. We'll look in here, go to the user section, and we have a user in here called Tony. Again, probably like you're seeing on your WordPress, this field is not editable. Usernames cannot be changed. So let's show you how to change the username if you have phpmyadmin installed. So phpmyadmin is basically like a user interface for the database. Okay, so if you have that installed, we'll go through these steps for this. And then if you do not have that installed, but you have SSH access to your server, then I'll show you how to do that afterwards. So let's start with phpmyadmin. And this is my phpmyadmin interface for tonyflorida.com. What I'm going to do is come down to the WordPress user table, WP_users table. And in here you'll see I have one user. Again, it's just the admin user. And what we want to do is edit this row and change the user login from admin to something else. So let's do that. We'll change it from admin to Tony Teaches Tech. Okay, and we'll hit go. And that'll update that record, and now the user login is Tony Teaches Tech. So we come back here, we will, I believe, get kicked out of this, even if we try to refresh the page. Yeah, so we're gonna get kicked out, and this is my hosting platform, making sure that nothing bad is going on here. So I have to pick all the bicycles. Okay, that works. So now we can sign back in. So instead of signing in with admin this time, we're going to sign in with Tony Teaches Tech. And I'll copy my password over here, paste that in, and we should be granted access, and we do. And now you can see that instead of seeing admin here, we see Tony Teaches Tech. Okay, so that is one workaround for changing a WordPress username. The other one is directly on the command line, and we will do that with subscribe.club. So I'm going to open up a terminal window. I'm already logged into the server that's hosting this website, okay? And you can see that, whoops, I got knocked out. So let me SSH back into that server. And if we go to the var www.html directory, you'll see all of my WordPress files. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about the database. So in order to access the database terminal, you can type in MySQL on the command line, assuming that you have access to that. And in here, we can look at our databases. So let's show databases. And you'll see that we have a WordPress database in here. Yours might be named something different, but we'll use, in my case, the WordPress database. So every command from this point forward will be associated with the WordPress database. Now, what kind of tables do we have in here? We can do show tables. And the table that we're interested in is the WP_users table, as we have seen in the previous part of this tutorial. So we can do select all from WP_users, and you'll see that it's a little, it wraps around, but we have one entry, and the user login for that one entry is Tony. So we want to change it from Tony to something else, and there you can see Tony's the username that you see here. So what we'll do is we'll say update WP users set user login. Okay, so user login equals, we'll change this on also to Tony Teaches Tech. Tony Teaches Tech. And then we'll do where user login, login equals 1. Okay, so that's basically saying inside of the WP users table, we want to update the user login cell whenever we see the user login currently equaling 1. And I think, yeah, I did that wrong. I should say where ID equals 1. That was almost a screw up there. So where ID equals 1. So the ID for this user is 1. Okay, so let's execute that, see if that works. And it says rows match 1, change 1. So if we do select star from WP users again, you'll see that now the user login is no longer Tony, it is Tony Teaches Tech. And the same type of thing from before, I believe that we'll get kicked out of here and we'll have to re-authenticate. So instead of saying Tony, we'll say Tony Teaches Tech, and I'll type in the password for that, log in, and that works. And you'll see that we have the username as Tony Teaches Tech. So guys, I don't know all of the implications for changing your username this way, but I do know that it's possible to do this, and it does work for that login. So you proceed with caution, but just know that this is an option for changing your WordPress username. Guys, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this from me in the future. And if you do, I will see you in the next one.